All right, so here's sample problem 2.8. This is class 4. And we're set up with a wall section of precast concrete temporarily held in place by cables. That looks dangerous. If the tension is 840 pounds in cable AB and 1,200 pounds in cable AC, determine the magnitude and direction of the resultant of the forces exerted by the cables on stake A. So once again, stake A is right here, and there's force. There's going to be some resultant force that's based on two forces right there coming in away from the thing, right? So we're working on looking at these words that are very important. So this is not done in the book, but I think for me, to try to understand what's going on, it's really helpful to make a little sketch, right? I'm a visual learner, and it's just sort of my thing, right? So I go to right here, so we can kind of see, here's what the geometry of this thing is, and we could say that this is going to be A, this is D right here, B and C are seen from the side, and we could see that this is 8 feet tall, and we could see that between here there's apparently 16 feet. We don't know what's going on the other side, and maybe it's symmetric. We could actually also take a look at the top, and so I'll put this view right in here, and maybe I'll make this a little bit smaller, so not exactly to scale. But we have a cable that's coming from here, and by the way, you can see this 11 feet and there's 27, right? So this is 11 feet right to there, right to that spot. But right here, this must be 16 feet. So it's not as symmetric as it might appear from the way that it went at first glance onto the thing. And I might even like try to make that more clear in my sketch right there, right, that it's off-centered. A bit, perhaps a little more exaggerated. And then once again, we don't know what's going on the other side of the wall. We can assume that maybe it's symmetric, but we don't know. But that's going to be A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D. I just think it's helpful to try to understand what the arrangement of stuff is. And this is, of course, 16 is the length that's going on right in there. So I'll get a better sense of what's taking place. The magnitude we're given, F, that's going to be AB. So I'll call it FAB, and it's given us as 840 pounds. And then I'll say that the AC, which is this cable right here, right? That's going to be equal to 1,200 pounds. So one of the first things we need to do is write out all those distances that are in there. So it's going to help us to keep track of stuff. I'm going to start off with AB, and then in another, and I'll do it in 2 columns right here. I'll go AC right in there. So I'll say DX. I don't want to call it that. I want to call it, this is a lot of ABX right here. And distance ACX is 1 minus 2, right? So in the AB, it starts off with X is equal to, no, we want to go from 2. So we want to go from 2 minus 1. So the 2 is at 0 here, and the 1 is at 16. So we're left with a negative 16. And in the AC, I guess we could, let's just continue with the AB, and then go for the Y, and then we'll do the AC. So the ABY, and the second position, it ends up being at 8 feet high, right? So 8 feet high, but it starts out at 0. So that's easy enough for us. and these are all feet, right? And then A, B, Z. It appears we're going to call this the 0 right there. So in the second position, it's going to go into positive 11, and in the initial position it's 0, so that is 11 feet. All right, so going with the AC now, right? So A to C. There's a similar thing going on right here, where it's going to start out, it's going to end up at 0, right? But it starts out at 16, a positive 16. So its distance that it's moved is in the negative 16. And then DACY, it should be the identical thing to what we just had in the other cable. So it's going to end up at 8. Starts out at 0, so it's 8.000 feet. And then DACZ, it ends up at negative 16 again. Is that true? Wait a minute. On the Z direction. No. It's going this direction right here, which we remember was 16, right? So it ends up at negative 16. Right, because this is we're considering that positive z right here, and that's the origin. So it ends up at negative 16z, and it started out at 0. So we get a negative 16 feet. So if we want the distance of AB, square root of 16 squared, 8 squared, 11 squared, and we get a distance of 21 feet. Same thing for AC, square root of negative 16, 8, and then also negative 16 again. And so we end up with 24 feet. Nice and even numbers there. 24 feet. Now, if we want to write out, and let's change some colors up just to make our lives more interesting. Purple's a good learning color. And we have FAB. We could write that as being just simply 840 times the D, X. Well, and I think I left out all these zeros. I should really probably leave them out, but that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. And that's 21 feet, right? I. And then 840. And that's going to be 8 divided by 21. And I'm not going to have enough room because I didn't plan it well. And I'm going to break all my own rules and scrunch it in there. 840, and we're dealing with 11 and 21. I like to have little parentheses around there. And then K, and that should be pounds right in there. And so we can say that AB is equal to negative 640.0 I plus 320 J 440 K. And these are pounds. We do the similar thing for AC, right? But this time it's going to be 1200 times negative 16 divided by 24 I plus 1200 times our 8. Those are divided by 24 J, and then 1200. This getting kind of sloppy. I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. Oh, then you don't care. That's fine. I don't mind that you don't care. Or maybe you do care. That's fine. Appreciate that. Thanks for caring. And FAC are equal to negative 800 I plus 400 J plus 800 K. And those are pounds. And now all we have to do is find the resultant. And of course we didn't leave ourselves enough room, because why would we? R is equal to FAB plus FAC, right? So we add those two things together. We say that R is equal to, and negative 640. Negative 640 plus negative 800 I plus 320 plus 400 J plus 440 plus negative 800 K. And so the resultant is going to be negative 1440 I plus 720 J plus negative 360 K. And these are pounds, so that would be an answer if they wanted it. It says determine it, but they wanted the magnitude and direction. So the magnitude, and I think we should say direction cosines, right? We take the square root of all of these components, and we'll end up with 1,650 pounds. So that's going to be one of our answers. And then we can also find our theta x is, we can just take the inverse cosine of Rx over R, or negative 1440 over 1650, and we get ourselves 150.8 degrees. Theta y is going to be inverse cosine of Ry over R, and that comes out to 720, 1650, sorry about that, and 64.1 degrees. Did you get lazy with your sig figs? I guess you did. Yeah, I still got 3 sig figs, so it's still going to be okay, but it would have been nice to be consistent, be a good role model on what not to do. Negative 360 divided by 0.0, there you go. 650, 1,650, and we end up with 102.6 degrees. So our answer, our resultant, 1,650 pounds. Theta x, 151 degrees. Theta y, 64.1 degrees. And theta z, 103? Sure. Box it in. Ta-da! Let's see, what do we end up with? In terms of time, discard all the nonsense. And 14 minutes. Took us a long time. That was a long problem. So, let's see. If you've made it to the end of this video, then, well, you should be rewarded, right? It would seem to me. only fair. Let's see, we're redoing that thing. Going on here, it's still recording. The thing is attached. Let's go camera. Let's take a look at my camera here and see, is this what I look like? Let's see. Hi, there's me. Hey. Screen capture. Here we're in the guitar room. I have murals on the ceiling of my various guitars, and we got like, I think it's the Sex Pistols over there. Got a portrait Eddie Van Halen. You can see my 3D printers. I just recently got a second 3D printer. I was going to bring it to my office, but I don't know if that's going to happen now. Let's see, what guitars do we have out? Oh, he's got a broken string. Well, need to fix that string. I think I played this one already in another video. So you're going to think these are only guitars I own, but it just happens to be the one I have out. So this is a Van Halen, a replica of a Van Halen guitar that he had off of the third album, which is the weird title of Women and Children First. It's got these turnbuckles that are holding the thing together. And these are pretty cool. It's a Christmas present for my wife. And it's kind of in tune. I mean, it's a little bit. And I'm wearing my Monkey Farm shirt, by the way, which is a bar in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. So, is this even on? Let's see. I have this little guitar simulator thingy called a pod. It's kind of old technology. And what does my sound look like? Probably overwhelming the speakers here. Let me turn this down a little bit. Probably sounds like doggy doo-doo. A little too quiet.